your team's defensive effort as far as, among the best this season and Nika in particular?
Well, obviously, it's a bad matchup for us because they're so small, and our size could be a huge advantage on the offensive end. And we tried to make it an advantage on the defensive end. And I thought we did a great job of not allowing, their shooters a lot of space. And when they were able to get into the lane, Park Lane, we were able to make them have to make tough decisions of what to do with the ball. Whatever the game plan was, we got it right almost the entire game.
You always talk about, the points that you're missing, but there can always be effort on defense. And did you see that tonight?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, those points are gone for now. So that doesn't mean that the game can only be played at one end of the floor, and it can only be played one way. You got to be able to play basketball in a way that your offense and defense complement each other. And I thought we played more as a group, more as a unit today than we have. We were much more cohesive today than we were on Monday. So I think that's a big reason why it looks so good. The communication was better today, and the chemistry was better today.
Geno, in terms of guard play, obviously you talked about bad guard play the other day. Just a big improvement today. It wasn't just a different opponent, but it looked like they're more under control, better decisions, 10 turnovers, and a lot of those in the late part of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there were some people upset with me that I said our guard play was bad. They all watched it. I mean, did I say something that wasn't true? If I'm going to tell you how good we are, then I got to tell you how bad we are when we're bad, right? So our guard play was bad on Monday. And I don't mean they shot bad. I don't mean one aspect of the game was bad. I thought our guard play was not up to the standards that we expect at Connecticut. And we did a lot of that this week. And this week we tried to impress upon them how they are their own worst enemies a lot of times. You're open for a split second, I don't see you, and I don't throw it to you, but then the next time you're not open, and because I missed the first one, now I'm going to throw it to you even though you're not open. Or you have your hand up right here, and I want the ball right here, and they hit you in the side of the head. And that's not just the guards. I'm saying, in general, I think the communication has not been good. People moving in and out of the lineup, and some good passers. But we passed the ball well today. We made good decisions today. Our guard play was really good today. And we shot 6 for 30 from the three-point line, too. So you can shoot poorly and still play well. And I think that's what happened today.
Geno, your post really kind of carried the team. Dorka early, then Liv kind of got going. So what did you see from the two of them, even Aaliyah hitting some outside shots?
Yeah, Dorka was really, really disappointed in herself after Monday's game. She was very dejected Tuesday, Wednesday. She expects a lot more from herself. And when she saw the film, she was really disappointed. And today was a great opportunity for her to come back and, get back on the right track. I think she and Liv have a pretty good thing, when they're out there. They help each other get better, they make each other better. And same with Liv. Liv did a lot of good things today, but she's pretty much been doing that for quite a number of games now. And Aaliyah needs to make those 15-footers, and she needs to knock in a couple threes once in a while, and she needs to make sure that those opportunities around the basket, she comes out of there with a three-point play. So everybody did their part. Everybody contributed something. And it was a team win. Coaches like those.
There were a bunch of moments where all 5 players touched the ball on individual offensive sets, which was something that maybe we didn't see when y'all played Seton Hall earlier this year. So I guess how is that representative of the adjustments that the group has made in the past few months?
Well, if we're playing really well and everybody's in sync and all 5 players touch the ball, that probably means we're going to score that possession. If we're not playing well and we're not in sync, all 5 players may touch it, but that's not a good thing because you have no idea where it's going next. So today, we had a pretty good understanding of where we wanted the ball to go. It was very clear, and we changed sides of the floor a lot with the ball. When we get in trouble is when the ball gets stuck, either in one person's hand or on one side of the floor. Today, we did a pretty good job of moving the defense, side to side, and then we were able to get. We didn't do anything crazy, no out of control drives and throwing the ball up there. We just played really, really solid. And when you do that, and you're playing solid on defense, you come out with a pretty solid win.
Geno, you mentioned communication just being a lot better today. Who would you say has been the most vocal consistently over the course of the season and kind of helps steer the course game by game for that?
Well, that's one of the things that we've tried to identify. Who can that person be? And there hasn't been a consistent one. When Nika was out all that time, we lose a voice. And we lose a voice that everyone on the team listens to. So today, you could hear her right from the opening tap. And if we can, keep her minutes where they need to be, and she stays out of foul trouble, when she's on the floor, she's the voice of our team. Other people may think they are, but they're not. She is. Because generally she knows what she's talking about, and she plays harder than everybody else. So what are you going to say? When you respect someone's effort and someone's passion for the game that wants to get it right, if they say something, you're going to listen. If you put yourself out there and say it, then you have to do it. And not saying that she's right 100% of the time, or that she's under control 100% of the time. I just think Nika's a guard that likes to run the show. She's not afraid. That's what's best about her.
Geno, you mentioned how conducive your offense is when everybody touches the ball, but there are also moments where sometimes we can tell that you're indicating for more action. How do you see them trying to just adjust to the rhythm of a particular group being together, even when you are still shorthanded?
Yeah, it's not the easiest thing. I mean, if you play three guards, which we do, they're all three of them are completely different from each other. Nika, E, and Caroline. When we take one of them out, now we're playing with three big guys. There's not a particular difference between the three of them. Where they like to go on the court, what kind of shots they want to take, how they want to play. They're too much alike. So you have to find specific spots for them, and you have to help them not get in each other's way. And that just takes, a little bit of time. And that's why it's so important that Liv, Dorka, and Aaliyah become pretty decent outside shooters. Because now that opens up the lane and there's more room. If all three of them have to be in the lane, because that's the only place they can function, that's not a good look for us. So I was glad today that they took some outside shots and a couple of them went in.
Did you see some progress today in Avina? I mean, she still shot 1 for 8 from three-point range, but most of them seemed like good shots in the flow of the offense, and she just missed them. Did you see a little bit better play out of her?
Yeah, very much so. If you take good shots, I don't have a problem with those. If you take good shots and they don't go in, nothing I can do about that. Nothing you can do about it. What sets me off is when people just take bad shots, ill-advised shots, and ill-advised passes, ill-advised drives to the basket. To me, if you're making good decisions, whatever comes from that decision, I'm okay with it. And, if you're a guard in college basketball, you need to make good decisions. And I think she played good defense today. He did. And I thought she made really good decisions on offense.
People always talk about the 111 games as the signature of this program, but by winning today, you extended that amazing streak of not losing back-to-back games to 1,037 games dating back to 1993. Can you wrap your head around that? What that means, and is that something that this team can kind of have a little pride in?
Yeah, there's so many things that have happened, in the course of these 37 years that someday, when I look back on it, I'll just shake my head and say, it's hard to believe. And even though you were there and you were part of it, you saw it all. It's still hard to believe that you could do that. And I think it's getting harder and harder to do that, and I think it's something that may not last, another 1,000 games. I can guarantee you that. But it's kind of like I was asking somebody the other day, when was the last time we had 4 losses by January 20th? And it was like 04, 05. Okay. Well, that's a while back. I said, when was it before that? It was 92, 93. So I'm like, that's a lot of years where, you lose 4 games by January. That's 3 or 4 seasons worth sometimes for us. So when you see how easy it is to lose a game, when you see how easy it is to not play well and get beat, you just marvel at what was happening during all that time. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. But here we are.
Geno Piath has seen more time recently. What have you seen from her on both ends that you're you like or things for her to improve?
Piath.
Yeah, Pia.
Piath is really working hard every day. And that's something she wasn't doing last year. Piath has made a concerted effort to want to get better as a basketball player. And it shows. And she's probably more advanced right now defensively than she is offensively. She's got great feet. She moves well. She has a pretty good feel for what's going on. And if she gets the ball anywhere near the basket, she gets it up on the rim easily. But the reason she's getting some playing time is her work ethic has changed. You know, I'm still old-fashioned. You know, I'm not a modern-day coach. I still think if you work really, really hard, you should get rewarded. And I think if you don't work hard, you should get nothing. And that goes against everything that is prevalent in today's society. You know, hey, I came to work. Okay, let me give you everything you want. What about the people that work really, really hard? Well, yeah, they get some too. Nah, I don't live in that world. And Piazza is working really, really, really hard. And the harder she works, the more she's going to play.
Seems like her teammates really
Yeah,
celebrate this.
because they see how hard she works. And she's a great teammate. She's a great teammate. She has a great way about her. And she wants to contribute to our success. And I couldn't be happier for anybody. She's put a lot of time in. She's put a lot of time in. And I'm thrilled for her.
Any other questions for Coach? All right, thank you. Oh, Jackie, go ahead. Sorry, one more.
Yeah, you mentioned that the team can play well without shooting well.
Uh-huh.
So I'm curious as to how that becomes something that you all can sustain, especially you've got South Carolina coming up again, and folks say that how you beat them is being able to hit shots.
Yeah. It's not a long-term strategy that we can play well, shoot the ball poorly, and keep winning games. That's not going to happen. So at some point, you have to make shots. And to me, you know, the St. John's game is going to be the same way. And next Thursday's game is going to be the same way. You have to make shots. And the better teams you play against, the better offensive teams you play against, the more imperative it is that you make them. Because you're not going to be able to stop them every time. You know, you can, teams averaging 85 points a game and you hold them to 70, 15 points below their average. You go, wow, that's amazing. Yeah, and you get 60. Well, you still lost. You still got to be able to put the ball in the basket. And sometimes it's also a function of you need a shot to go in right now. So even though we missed 8 in a row, if this one goes in, this gives us the lead. And maybe that's a huge momentum, maker right there. So you don't have to make them all, but there are times when you've got to make them. No ifs, ands, or buts. And they either help you win the game or you don't. You talk about it's not how many you make, it's when you make them.